Hello and welcome to episode 8 of the Take It Offline podcast. My name is Mike Imgood and today I'm joined by Mike Rudolph.
Hello.
Hello. I'm going to start this off by saying that, so today is Monday.
Correct.
Monday. Today's what, March?
That was a tough Monday.
March 12th. Yes, March 12th.
It is the 12th.
Yes.
I believe. It is 12th, yes.
So we are in day 2 of the new time change thing. Like daylight savings
daylight
time.
savings.
Yes.
It's a very established thing. Yeah.
We are off to a solid start. My issue is the time change, and I woke up today, and you know that I've given up coffee for Lent.
I did know that.
And I've never needed coffee more in my entire life than I did today. Yeah, it was
Why, you have a rough
horrific.
Sunday?
Well, I was out pretty late Saturday night, and then it just completely messed up my sleep schedule on Sunday.
Was it Saturday to Sunday was the switch?
So it was like Sunday at 2 a.m. was whenever it switched over.
So this is day 1 then, right?
Sunday would be day 1. This would be day 2.
Late Saturday night.
Yeah, so
Sunday morning.
yeah. So that's kind of where I'm at with that, and I'm not happy about it. I'm tired, but here we are.
I kind of like daylight savings. Like when I got home today or yesterday, it wasn't even dark. It was great.
Yeah, I like the aspect of it being like light outside.
Yeah.
At what 6 or 7 or whenever it got.
Yeah, it was like 6:30 around 7 o'clock.
But I woke up today and it was dark out again, so we completely moved the whole.
Well, you know what you're doing is you're saving daylight.
Wait, is that why it's called daylight savings?
It's got to be something thrown in the mix there.
That seems to make sense.
Checks out.
So how was your weekend?
My weekend was good. We had like a lumped-in family thing with Mindy's family. So we had like Mindy's brother, and he has 2 little girls. So we had like both of their birthdays because one of them's in March, the other one's in January. We also had Christmas. So we had like a dual birthday party / Christmas event.
Oh.
It was just like 3 months late for a lot of it. And it was fun though. It was a good time. Yeah.
So you celebrated 2 different birthdays and Christmas all at the exact same time.
Correct.
So here's an idea for you. Did you think that went well?
Yeah, I think so.
So I have a new proposal.
All right.
Instead of celebrating each holiday individually, we just celebrate them all at one time.
I think you could do that with most of them. I think Christmas is one that I like to have like a good build up to.
Yeah.
I don't think Christmas is one you could lump in with the others. I think Halloween's a probably standalone.
Well, that's the beauty of it. You just like chunk out an hour devoted to each. So like you make it a day-long thing. So you start with New Year's, and then you go.
New Year's would be a good cap to this day.
Yeah, but it could be the beginning or the end, however you want to do it, however you view it.
Ooh, starting from scratch.
Yeah.
I like it.
Yeah, and then you would end with Christmas because that's the last holiday of the year, right?
That's not bad.
So you just like squish all those other ones in between. Like
how many we got here? What are we talking?
Easter, you got 4th of July, Halloween, Thanksgiving.
4th of July would be a good one. Fireworks during the day would be tough though.
St. Patrick's Day.
Oh, St. Patty's a good day.
And it's coming up soon. So
yeah, I'm excited. You got plans for St. Patty's?
Not yet. No, not yet. My mom's coming in on Friday to stay with me this weekend, but I don't know how long she's staying.
Yeah.
But, yeah. If we did that and just had them all planned out during one day, I think that could be probably a disaster.
That could be really fun, though.
It could.
I would do that.
Well,
I'd be in for that.
Yeah. And then just like everyone's birthday, like at the exact same time.
Yeah, just a birthday hour.
Yeah. Just like 1 hour to celebrate everyone's birthday.
I like it.
Yeah.
And then like every time after that where someone's like, hey, what are you doing for Thanksgiving? You're like, I already did it.
Already celebrated that, yeah. Yeah, I'm onto that.
Yeah.
I would totally do that.
Can you imagine the amount of time you'd save throughout the year?
Well, all that time that you saved throughout the year would probably be lost in everything that you had to do to plan for that one big day.
I don't know if that's true.
Like, I feel like you had to plan dinner for each of those events, like plan a meal or something.
Right,
so
you just don't have to do that anymore.
Well, I guess, yeah.
You only have to plan one dinner as opposed to however many dinners
But I'm talking like, if you got to have like Easter, and then you got to have Thanksgiving, you got to have Christmas, like 3 separate things.
Yeah. Well, yeah, so you just need 3 meals in that day. You don't have to constantly be eating.
That's true.
You just plan 3 meals with like a side for each holiday.
Well, my thought here was just to go into like a coma, like a food coma, for like a week afterwards.
I think just a regular coma would be good. Not even a food coma. just hibernate for a while.
After dealing with relatives for that amount of time, you probably need it. So yeah, how did we get there? Oh, you had your family event or whatever.
Right? Yeah, we had a lump sum family event there.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was my weekend for the most part.
Cool.
Yeah.
Well, let's not waste any time and jump into some news and noteworthy topics.
Okay.
I feel like I need a drop here or something like
Drop.
Yeah. Like news and noteworthy topics. Something, exciting like that.
You do. You need a good sound bit.
I do.
Yeah.
I do. We're a D-list production here, so I think that could do. News and noteworthy topics.
There you go.
There we go.
Got it.
All right. So
Tag them and bag them.
this is how news and noteworthy we are. I picked something that just happened yesterday.
Wow.
And
How relevant are you?
I'm just so relevant. I think it was yesterday.
Less relevant by the second.
So you're familiar with HQ Trivia.
HQ
Yeah.
Trivia, I am. Yeah.
Well, last night was the $25,000 prize.
Ooh, yeah, that's right. Sundays are big money
Yeah,
days.
$25,000. And usually multiple people can win and they would just divvy up that prize money. But last night, only one person could win, I believe. There was only one person.
I think so, because I was actually on that. So
Yeah.
they just kept asking questions until somebody won.
Until one person was
Yeah.
left.
Usually they have a set amount of questions.
And then at the end, they just divvy up the money,
right,
whatever
which
the prize
kind of
is.
stinks. Like most days, it's like 30 cents. Like
Yeah.
you go through the ringer and you end up with like 5 to 10 cents. And you're just like, oh, cool, thanks, guys.
Oh, after this, I'm going to tell you my big issue with HQ
Oh,
Trivia.
please do. I
Yes.
cannot wait.
But anyway.
I hope it's not the guy because he cracks me up. He's just puns for days. I love it.
spoiler, I hate everything about that app.
You hate like most people. That doesn't surprise me at all.
So anyway, so a man won $25,000 on HQ, which was the prize last
That's a
night,
nice chunk of change.
while he was on the toilet. So
That is a productive crowd.
yes, he said that I read the article about it today. It was on BuzzFeed, and he said that he was on the toilet and he was just browsing his phone. And you're familiar, every time like HQ is going to go live, you get a notification about it.
You can set up the update.
And he said that he got the notification. He was like, oh, why not? I'll try it. So he got on, and that was the most productive toilet session of his life.
I
Probably.
wonder, how much money do you think Bill Gates makes every time that he goes to take a dump?
A lot.
You think it's $25,000?
More than $25,000.
You think it's more than that?
He's like a bajillionaire.
Well, yeah, but it's all about the rate that it's coming in.
That's true. I bet you he makes a lot of money.
Because how long do you think it took this guy for HQ to win $25,000? That's probably a good
5 to 10 minutes, maybe.
I'd say probably 10 to 15 minute
Okay.
crap right there.
So
that's
productive.
That's not bad.
Yeah. Yeah.
That might be Bill Gates status. Probably a little bit less.
I don't exactly know what Bill Gates' net worth is.
It's a lot.
It's a lot.
He gives most of it out. He's a good guy.
He does seem like a good guy.
He's so awkward though.
I mean,
Have you seen that press release of when Windows 5 came out and there was just 7 of them dancing on the stage like the weirdest people on the planet?
Well.
It's incredible. I'll send you the video.
You have to.
We'll take it online.
take it on. No, we'll take it offline.
It's already offline. This
yeah.
is the podcast.
Oh, this is true.
Yeah, I was making a joke.
Yeah, I get you.
Yeah.
So you have something March Madness related?
Not
Yeah.
really. Just that March Madness has begun, and I'm really mad about it.
Why are you mad about it?
Well, West Virginia didn't get the #1 seed. They lost in a nail biter in the Big 12 championship, but I'm not really mad. It's just March Madness.
Well, are they in the bracket?
They're in the bracket. They're a 5 seed.
Okay.
Yeah, I forget who they're playing to start with, but yeah,
So how many teams are in for the March Madness bracket?
I believe it's 32.
32.
I think so.
Okay.
Might be.
And when does it
64.
start?
It starts
This week?
this week. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And then it just goes till. Does it go into April or does it end by April?
No, it goes into April.
Does it?
Yeah, the championship's in April.
So it's like March and April
yeah, but
Madness.
it's the madness is really in March.
So here's my thing,
It
though.
settles down by April.
Why wouldn't you? So we're on March 12th. Why wouldn't you start it sooner so that you could have the whole thing in March?
Well, I think it's just they started calling it March Madness. I don't think it was designed specifically for the month of March.
Yeah.
It's just that's how the schedule worked out.
Well, I'm going to write to the NCAA and voice my concerns
Okay.
over this.
Well, I hope you do.
I'm not going to.
Well, I still hope you do.
Yeah, West Virginia, though, not really.
Yeah, you're a pick guy.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
really my cup of tea.
Yeah.
But so I'm kind of happy they lost,
Yeah.
to be honest with you.
Well, they're still in it. How's Pitt doing?
Anyway. So, yeah. Did you make a bracket?
Not yet. I need to do that. I think probably either tonight or tomorrow.
Is there like
There's
a deadline you have to do it? You can't do it like when the tournament starts.
No,
right? You
as
have to
soon
do
as
it
the
prior.
playing games start, I
Yeah.
think you're capped. Cut off.
I've never done a multi round this bracket before. Not
That
really,
surprises me.
I'm not really into college
You're a big
basketball.
sports guy.
I am. Mostly football, not really basketball or anything like that. But
Checks out. Otherwise, you'd probably have done a bracket.
I probably would have, yeah.
It's fun though.
I would probably just pick the top seed of each matchup. I don't really know how to pick
I don't think
upsets
you
or
do well.
anything. Yeah.
I know the last couple of years, I forget who it was. I want to say it was like CBS or something. They had $1 billion bracket. So if anybody got a perfect bracket, they would give you $1 billion.
That's a lot of money.
That is a lot of money. It has not been done.
Would you
in
retire
the history.
if you had $1 billion?
Yeah.
I think you could live off
What kind
of
of
$1
question is
billion.
that? Yeah.
I
You
think you
give me
could.
like, I don't know, $50,000, I'd retire. I'd retire for a couple of years.
And then
A year. I would retire for a year.
Because you would spend the whole billion?
Yeah.
Do you think you could spend $1 billion in a year?
I think if pressed, gun to my head, I'm spending $1 billion. Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be a fun year.
What would you spend $1 billion
I
on?
honestly have no idea.
I would do probably a nice. I don't know. I don't think I would spend $1 billion.
In a year? Could you buy like
In
islands?
a year?
Could you buy islands?
I don't know that I would buy an island.
I would buy an island for fun.
Would you?
Yeah.
Islands aren't my cup of tea. I'd buy a mountain.
Buy Hawaii.
I would buy Hawaii.
Could you think Hawaii's probably worth more than $1 billion?
Yeah, I would think so. There's a lot of people and stuff on it.
It's small. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Do the people come with it?
I don't want to buy people.
You
Freedom.
need somebody to run it though.
Well, just like buy it. It's like when you take over the business, you just buy it and then let the other people,
The
take.
people come with it.
Well, you don't buy them. They're
You
just
don't
there.
buy the people, but you still have employees that work for you.
That's true.
You're buying the people.
The people come with the deal.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're buying the people.
Yes. Okay. I think we've established
I
that.
think nobody just wants the office building. They want the business. The business are the people.
That's true. I want Hawaii
With the people.
with the people. Yeah.
You can't just boot everyone out of there. I think that would just that would be
No,
a
I want
hate
them to
crime.
stay. I want them to do what they typically do.
It'd be a big old hate crime, I think. You'd make
be.
news.
I would. Well, probably
Not
because
in the good news.
well,
either.
I'd make news because I bought Hawaii. So,
You would make news for like the Trail of Tears.
like kicking everyone off the islands.
Do you remember the Trail of
I
Tears?
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Not good things talked about with
yeah.
that.
Being in the history books is like one of the worst people.
Moving on.
Yeah, so I hope you don't do a bracket. In summary, I hope you don't do a bracket and kick all the people out of Hawaii.
Yes. So you and I did something fun last week. What was that? Went to work.
We went to work. Oh my god, it was
Yes,
great. No,
so
we
much
went
fun.
we went throwing axes
Yes, we did.
at Lumberjacks.
Lumberjacks is
Free
in,
promo. Feel free to give us money.
Yeah, please
Or
do.
axes.
It's
Oh,
in-
give me an axe.
in Millvale.
Millvale?
That's what it was. Lumberjacks is in Millvale.
I didn't know that.
That's what it was.
All right. Well, I knew that.
So yeah, sponsor me.
Yeah, please. Just give us a bunch of axes.
But yeah, that was a lot of fun.
That was great. It's like darts.
I had never thrown axes before, and it was they taught you how to throw axes and then had you compete in throwing axes.
That was fun. The whole tournament aspect
Yeah.
of it, that was great.
I mean, this happened all within the span of like 2 hours.
Yeah. Yeah,
So-
we kind of ran through that.
Yeah.
That was good.
Like it gave you more time to throw axes and stuff. But
We actually have some unresolved dispute here.
we do, because Rudy and I, well, not to brag, but I was the #1 seed for
Yeah,
the axe throwing
in our
tournament.
one bracket.
Yes, I was.
Yeah. Well, I had a slow start.
Right.
They taught us how to throw really weird. They taught us how to throw like two-handed, and they wanted me to throw or like step with the wrong foot, and I was like, you know what? No, I'm gonna stop doing that. So I lost my first match, and then I was like, I'm just gonna go out and throw an axe. And I started throwing it like a baseball, and I was just straight cash on me after that.
It was something to watch because and you looked so lackadaisical whenever you threw this axe. It was just like you were playing catch in the backyard.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what it looked like when you threw an axe. Meanwhile, I'm over there trying to perfect my form and get my wrists all straight and everything.
Natural athletic ability, my friend.
But the issue was that you and I didn't play each other in the actual tournament.
Big discrepancy.
Because we were different seeds and we just never got around to playing each other.
Yeah, you were number 1 seed, I was number 2.
Yeah, and you lost before I did.
I did, to Brittany, who took you out.
To Brittany, who then took me out.
What a sniper. She came out of left field. She was like not doing anything the whole warm-up round, and then boom, she hustled us. I didn't even have that bad of a game. She just straight up crushed me.
Yes, and I mean, she killed it in my match too. I fell apart.
You did. You crumbled.
But she just was like, I'm just going to go ahead and take this because he's not doing anything.
I think she had a lot of pent-up aggression.
She did.
And I believe that.
I think that she was very satisfied by the outcome.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah. But it was a lot of fun. But you and I did like a side bracket after this. Like we didn't get to go against each other.
Match.
Yeah, it was a grudge match. So I took round 1, and I think you took round 2.
We did.
And so it was a 3-round match. And we had, so it was like five throws per round. And then we got 3 throws into the last round, and they cut us off.
They did. Yeah, it was a hard stop.
It was.
They didn't even give us like 2 more throws. Come on, they're like, no,
you're
get
done.
out of
Yeah,
there.
you're done.
Yeah. Granted, you were up.
For the record, I was up by a good amount.
You were up by 8 points.
I was up by 8,
which is 2 throws.
Yeah.
So yeah, max points you could get is you hit this little dot, and that's 7.
Yeah.
The main center dot is 5. The inner ring is 3, and then the outer ring is 1.
And nobody the whole night had hit 7.
I did. I hit 7. I hit 7.
Did you call it before you hit it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
When I was playing Steph.
Okay.
And I was already up by like 11 points. I was like, you know what? I'm going to go for it. And I drilled it. And he goes, wow, that was kind of mean, but I got you.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
But no, we didn't get to finish.
We didn't get to finish. I think I could have taken it. It would have been a miracle. But do you believe in miracles? Yes.
I don't, because then I would have won.
You don't believe in miracles?
I don't believe in your miracle because I think that I would have won.
I think you would have needed a miracle.
I don't think so. I was up 8 points.
Yeah. Underdog miracle.
Underdog miracle. The Eagles were underdogs and won the Super Bowl.
That they were.
Yes.
I love that they kept putting on like dog masks after every
that was
win.
awesome.
That was really good. No,
but we need a rematch.
We do. We got to go back.
Yes, we have to. We need a rematch.
Speaking of rematches, we have to play Super Smash as well.
So Rudy and I have had this long-going conversation about Super Smash Brothers for the Nintendo GameCube.
Yes.
Which is our favorite one.
The best one around.
So Rudy came over the first time that you were on the podcast, I think.
That was. Yeah, because Mark was there too.
Yeah, and we played. And you won. I think you might have cheated a little bit.
I think I won every time pretty handily.
I don't remember that exactly, but...
I don't think it was handily, but it was... I remember I walked away with a W.
Yeah. Rudy and I both very competitive people.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah. So we have to continue that
We have
trend.
to continue that, yeah. Moving on.
It's all in good fun, though.
Yes.
Competition, all in good fun.
So, you went on a trip recently.
I did, actually. Me and Mindy Dilly, for those of you who remember her, we went to Iceland over late February. It was kind of like a belated birthday / Valentine's Day thing.
But we talked about Mindy's birthday on the podcast.
Right.
And it was the day after Valentine's Day.
Correct. Yeah. So we really only had dinner that night. We didn't do much, but we saved everything for for Iceland. So it was really nice. We got to see the Northern Lights actually on the flight in, but that was the only time we saw it. Otherwise, the weather was pretty terrible.
Was that a cool view of seeing that from the plane?
Yeah, it was. I thought the plane was going to flip, honestly, because it was on the one side, and the pilot goes on, and he's like, if you guys look to your left side, you'll see the Aurora Borealis, or I forget exactly how to say it. It's something around there.
Yeah, that sounds right.
Yeah. He's like, the Northern Lights, Northern Lights are to your left, essentially, is what he said.
Yeah.
And everybody on the plane, like, there were people passed out, and they were like, oh my God. And they stood up, and like everybody ran over to the left side, and like there was just every single person was just on that side, like trying to like get in. Like people were like, here, you want to take my spot for a second, so people could sit down. But yeah, everybody was on that side. I didn't think planes could really support that kind of weight difference. But
was it a big plane? Like, was it an issue that all those people were on one side?
I thought so, but maybe the pilot was just kind of sitting there like, oh my God, just trying to turn
trying to keep it level.
He probably said that. He was like, oh, I made a mistake. But yeah, excellent pilot. So we did good.
So you got to see the lights, though.
Got to see the lights, but only on the plane, technically in Canada, so we didn't even see it in Iceland. But you know what? We saw them, cross them off the list, we're good.
Nice.
Another big thing that happened there is I got engaged.
Hey! Nice.
Yeah. So we went to this spot called...
Wait. To Mindy.
Mindy. No,
okay.
No, it was almost somebody else.
Oh, wow.
I picked up the ring and someone's like, "Oh my God, yes!" I was like, I had to punch her in the face. And,
wow.
It was a whole ordeal. But no, so we went to Diamond Beach. It's called. So I figured that was kind of fitting. It's like a black sand beach, and there's a bunch of glaciers nearby that the waves, like the ocean waves, break them up, and there's just like chunks of like just really clear like glass-like ice, and it looks really really cool. So. Pop the question there.
Nice.
She said yes, so that's good news.
That's fortunate.
Yeah.
That would have been a really awkward trip back.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, that would have been awkward. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun, though.
Yeah, it was a good trip.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. Anything else you want to talk about on your Iceland trip? I'm guessing Mindy was happy about the whole situation.
She was, yeah. All smiles, so that's good.
How long did you stay out there?
I have a funny story, and I think she's going to be... I hope she doesn't listen to this, because she's going to be really mad.
I hope she does.
So, funny story is, I was so nervous when I asked her, I put it on the wrong hand. I put it on her right hand. And so we were on this tour bus, and we only had like 45 minutes to an hour to hang out at this awesome beach. And so... I asked the question, and we're hanging out, we're having fun, we're like, I don't know, we're just there. And so we're taking all these pictures of like the new engagement ring and that kind of thing. And as we're like getting ready to go back on this bus, she's like, "Oh my God, it's on my right hand. Everyone's like, it's supposed to be on the left hand. Like, what are we gonna do?" I was like, I don't know. So we can't run back and go retake pictures. So we end up hopping on the bus. I was like, you know what? I'll go home and we'll mirror the images and then we'll post it or whatever. So we actually, all the pictures that you'll see of us in Iceland with the ring, they're technically on the right hand, just mirrored. Yeah.
That's a good story to tell, though.
That's what I thought.
I don't think there's anything wrong with that. I just think it's a fun story.
I thought so too, because it's kind of cute. She was so excited she didn't realize for like 45 minutes the whole time.
And you were just too stupid to put it on the right hand.
That checks out. I'm a pretty dumb guy. Yeah.
Nice. That's funny though.
Yeah.
Like I said, that's a good story you can tell.
Yeah.
Yeah, like you just did.
I did. I thought I did.
Nice. Well, moving on.
Okay.
So,
what's the topic? What do we got?
We got Jobs.
Steve Jobs?
Steve Jobs. Could be Steve Jobs.
Are we talking about Steve Jobs?
Let's talk about Steve Jobs.
Apple.
Yeah.
What's your favorite fruit?
My favorite fruit, I like banana. We actually had banana chips
We have
today.
banana chips.
And I think
right here.
I kind of think that was my first time eating banana chips.
You kind of think that?
I kind of think that it was my first time eating banana chips.
Have you ever had any other dried fruit?
Dried fruit. I'm trying to think. Oh, like dried apple chips, which I'm pretty sure is your favorite snack.
Chips. Yeah.
Although
yeah.
Mindy told you otherwise.
Word on the street is that's my favorite snack. I actually, speaking of dried fruit, we tried to make beef jerky one time. Like we have a dehydrogenate. That's not
dehydrator?
Dehydrogenate. I don't know. Dehydrator. And it was awful. It was like eating bricks.
Eating what?
Like a brick.
Like a brick?
Like a brick. You know what? It's like a building material.
Well,
typically very hard.
Speaking of that though, I bought Super Mario. I didn't buy. Someone bought me Super Mario cereal the other day.
Yeah.
Literally tastes like cardboard.
Really?
It tastes really bad.
Are you eating the box or are you eating the cereal?
Wait, I was eating the box.
You gotta open the box, Mike. The goodness is on the inside.
I thought that the way that you eat cereal was just by eating through the box to get to the cereal.
I mean, you're not wrong. That is a way to eat the cereal.
I know.
How is the Super Mario cereal?
It tastes like cardboard.
That checks out. You did say that. You did say that. Okay. Speaking of Super Mario, did you see Google Maps you can be Mario now when you're going through it?
Well, we talked about this, and I told you that it was for Mario Day that was March 10th, which is conveniently a week before.
Why is Mario March 10th?
MAR 10 Mario. Would you spell it out?
I-O. Mario,
yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Is that a thing?
That is a thing. March 10th was Mario Day.
Is that like just this year they decided that?
I'm not sure if it was just this year, but I think it's supposed to be something that's celebrated.
I feel like I would have heard that before.
Yeah.
I have never heard that before.
That's why Google Maps updated the thing.
That checks out.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool, though.
But it was March 10th, which is, a week before, exactly 7 days before the St. Patrick's Day.
Okay.
And, speaking of that, the McDonald's has Shamrock Shakes happening right now, and I'm kind of upset about it.
Why?
Because I gave up sweets for Lent, and I can't have any.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
I did. So I'm going to call them and ask them to hold one for me until after.
Can you do that?
I don't think so. But I think they have them for
Why
a good
don't you
while.
go get one and put it in your freezer?
That would not taste good.
I bet you it would.
It wouldn't.
The taste doesn't go anywhere.
But I want
It's already a frozen treat.
I need the whole Shamrock Shake experience.
What's the whole Shamrock Shake experience?
I go there and I watch them put green goo into my milkshake.
Do you get the chocolate or the vanilla?
Oh, the vanilla. There's not even an option for chocolate.
Are you serious? There's
There
chocolate.
shouldn't be.
There is, and it's better.
It's not
I
better.
promise you.
What does that even look like?
It's just a Shamrock Shake that's slightly darker. It's not rocket science, Mike. It's chocolate. We are so far off topic.
We are very
What kind of
topical.
jobs are we talking about here?
Steve Jobs.
Steve Jobs working at McDonald's, darkening all his Shamrock Shakes.
No, but seriously, I really want a Shamrock Shake.
I'll tell you what. I'm not going to get you one.
I wasn't sure what was going to happen next.
Yeah.
I didn't know what you were going to say.
I can go get you a Shamrock Shake. I bet you if we put it in the freezer, it'll be fine.
Well, hopefully, actually, we should try that, and then hopefully so Easter is April 1st, so April 1st, I'll be able to go get a Shamrock
Isn't
Shake.
that April Fool's Day?
Yeah. Easter's on
That
April
would be
Fool's
a
Day.
good hour in the big holiday day.
April Fool's Day? Oh.
Like April Fool's hour in
I feel
that
like
day.
I would need a minute, and then I'd be sick of it.
You need a minute?
Yeah.
How many pranks can you pull off? No, you need a good hour. You got to pull a bunch of pranks, as many as you can in an hour.
Yeah. Not a big April Fool's guy.
Wait, so Easter falls on April Fool's Day?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Is that like anti-Semitic or
That's
something?
nothing. It's the day that it falls on.
Just pure coincidence?
Yeah, pure coincidence.
I'm not buying it. I'll believe it on April 2nd.
Whenever the next day they're like, just kidding. It was actually today.
Gotcha, guys.
Yeah. I love reading all those, there's some companies that go we're off on a tangent again, but there's some companies that go out of their way to celebrate April Fool's Day. Like, they put together, all these strange ads.
Yeah.
Like, the guys that make Cards Against Humanity are really into that.
Nice.
Like, they
Yeah.
did one time, I think that they did this where it was a blank box, and they literally advertised it as having nothing inside, and people still bought it.
That's incredible. I saw on Black Friday, they actually, they advertised that they were going to charge more. They're like, now, just for Black Friday, 25% added on. And, it skyrocketed how many people bought it. It's insane what they're doing.
Yeah. And people still bought that stuff, yeah.
They're just laughing themselves to sleep.
I mean, they beat the system, I
They
guess.
did.
So jobs.
So jobs.
Well, here to talk
are we
about
talking
jobs.
employment?
Employment, yes.
Okay.
So we're gonna have some job
Have
questions.
you ever been employed by someone named Steve? Have you had a Steve job?
Steve job. I haven't had a Steve job.
I've had a manager
Have
named
I
Steve.
worked with anyone directly named Steve?
Well, there's that guy next to me in that cube. Steve or James or something.
Dan?
I don't
Not
know.
Dan. Dave.
Dave.
Yeah, not Steve. Chris is gonna listen to this being like, why do these guys hate me?
Yeah, I still don't think he fully
I
understands
don't
the
think
joke.
so. Okay, well, the joke is that we were talking about people that were going to some place, I think, and you had said, oh, yeah, Chris is going too. And I was like, who is Chris?
He sits right next to me.
Literally
Yeah.
sits right there. I could not remember who he was at all. But yeah, jobs. We're back on jobs again.
Yeah. Just king of the tangents. today.
I'm just trying to keep this ship afloat right now is what's happening.
It's a Monday, so.
It is a Monday. So let's get into some job questions.
Okay.
I'm just going to start. Just keep going. Steve. Okay. Question 2. What is the worst job you've ever had?
The worst job I've ever had. I had a job when I was in high school. I worked for Wegmans. Do you know what Wegmans is?
Yeah, well, it's like a
Yeah, you're a
grocery
Philly
store.
guy. Yeah.
Well, I'm just outside of Philly, like Bedford.
Just outside. I live in Pittsburgh, so I'm just outside.
Just outside
Yeah.
Philly.
For everyone else out there, that's That's you're looking at it. That. Anyway, yeah, no need to go into the inside joke there, but yeah. So my worst job it was probably Wegmans. I worked as a cash register guy. I don't even know. There's probably a term for that, but
Cashier?
Cashier. Yes. Now I'm crumbling. Jeez, this is terrible. But yeah, so I was a cashier for Wegmans, and I hated it. Like I would get so mad at the people because they would come in with like 3 full carts full of food. They would spend like $1,000, and I'd have to sit there just like staring at them awkwardly, ringing up $1,000 worth of Twinkies and
Wait,
stuff.
this happened a lot?
Yeah, it would probably happen 2 to 3 times a day. It was insane. It was insane the amount of food people would buy there. And I would just be sitting there like silently just fuming. And they'd be like, how's your day going? I'm like, shut the fuck up. So yeah, it didn't end well for me. But it got to the point where like Wegmans has a very distinct smell, and now when I walk in there, it makes me mad.
Look, that smell is still there.
The smell, yeah, like when I go into Wegmans, it has a very distinct grocery smell.
How long were you at Wegmans?
About a year.
Oh.
I actually, I was so, I didn't want to go in one day, so I called in and I told them my great grandma died, which is awful. That's how.
How old were you?
I was in high school.
Okay.
And I still feel awful about that.
That's a horrible thing.
But they called my house, wishing my family condolences, and I got grounded for a month because they're like, "Did you tell them that your great grandma died?" And I was like, "Oh my god!"
One, you're an awful person
I
for
know.
that.
Trust me.
And
I know.
2, that is karma's way of directly getting back at you.
Instant karma. That was awful.
So you didn't tell your parents?
Obviously,
that you used
no.
that
I was hanging out at my friend's house.
Did they just call you then and say, "Hey"?
They did.
Oh wow.
They're like, "How's work?" And I was like, "Oh, it's okay." It was bad. It was so bad. That was the worst job. That's probably the worst day I've ever had, let alone job.
So did Wegmans find out that you used that as an
No, my
excuse?
parents held up a good front. I'll give them credit for that. But no, I did.
You probably would have got fined for that.
Probably.
Yeah.
I should have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
bad.
It's awful. It's
Yeah.
not funny. It's awful.
Yeah.
But my worst job is not nearly as bad as that, or what you did.
Okay.
So I used to work at an ice cream stand at the local fair.
Okay.
And if you've ever been to a fair, like a county fair before,
yeah.
the quality of people that you see there is unlike anything that you will see.
Cream of the crop.
The cream of the crop. Yes. Bedford County's finest was at the Bedford County Fair. But I worked in an ice cream shop, and I think that my thing is I just did not like the preparation. Like I didn't like making ice cream. I kind of volunteered to do it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't get paid for it really.
What?
But it was like a volunteer
That's
thing.
not a job then.
Well, it's a job. I did it.
Yeah, but I guess it's volunteer work. I don't know. You wouldn't get paid at all,
No, not at all.
and it was something you hated. Why did you do that?
I did it to be nice, I guess. I volunteered my time. I paid my time.
Yeah. So you're paying them.
I was paying them. So it's like a bad situation all around.
Right, yeah.
But I just didn't like making the ice cream and stuff. But the funny story that I have from that is that there was a woman who was in charge of like showing us how to do our job essentially for the amount of time that we were there. And we had this ice cream called graham cracker cheesecake ice cream.
That sounds really good.
It was. I'm not a big ice cream guy myself, which maybe is why I didn't like that to begin with, working in the ice cream shop. But she would pronounce it Graham cracker. Graham cracker cheesecake.
That's like ham you left out for too
Yeah,
long.
and like whenever she would say it, like I would get that image in my mind of like Graham, and I'm like,
It's green eggs and ham all meshed up in one word.
and left out for like 3.5 days. Yeah.
Yeah.
But like obviously, you know how good graham cracker cheesecake sounds.
I do.
So obviously, a lot of people wanted that. So she used to work like the cashier.
Is that a real term?
That is, and she used to call back like what people wanted, and the amount of times that I heard Graham cracker cheesecake during my time there was a lot. It was like one of those things that just drove you nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It irks you.
Yeah. Gets under your skin.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess I haven't really had that many really bad jobs,
That's good.
but that was just one that was less than ideal.
How many jobs have you had?
So I'll talk about the best job I ever had.
Okay.
That's one of them. And then I worked at an ice cream stand.
Okay.
I worked for the PennDOT.
Nice. How was that?
I actually enjoyed it. I had a really good supervisor when I was at
That's
PennDOT.
good.
So
That makes a lot of
Yeah, it
difference.
does make it really nice. And then I had a work study job, which actually that job really was bad too.
Yeah.
I just sat at a desk, and then people came to my office with like the tech problems.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Anytime you have to deal with the masses, it doesn't end well.
And it was like sometimes really basic problems, like I don't know how to turn my
Like
computer
the
on.
Starbucks wasn't working.
I don't know how to turn my computer on. Hit the power button, like something like
So
that.
that's not bad. But I
Yeah,
can
but
see
like-
where that would grind
Yeah,
you
like
down.
I would do it like twice a week
Yeah.
and sit there for hours, but yeah, it wasn't too bad, but not something I would want to do again.
Yeah.
So shifting into a more a better situation, what's the best job you've ever had? And we can make this most interesting if you want. With
Okay.
something
Yeah.
like that.
So I don't know about best job, but I have two very interesting jobs
Okay.
that I've had that I think that they both have good stories associated with them. Do you want me to do one, then you do one, then I'll do another, or how do you want to do
Sure.
this?
I only have one, so I'll let you do one, then I'll do one,
Okay.
and then you can do
Okay.
the last one.
So the first one, again, I was in high school, and my neighbor was a doctor. So I forget exactly. I think it was an orthopedic doctor, and so her office was down by the beach. It was actually in Manahawkin, if anybody knows that. So it was right next to Long Beach Island, or LBI, and that's
Okay.
the spot where me and my friends would go every summer. So it was great. So we would stay down there at my friend's beach house, and then we would just drive 10 minutes up the beach, go into Manahawkin, work for a couple of hours, and then go back to the beach. It was incredible. So we got paid to be at the beach all day. It was great. So what the job was actually was she was a doctor's office, and we were just grunts. So she had a storage facility. Just there are 2 or 3 different storage units just filled with like documents and like patients' files. And the things like they just let a couple of high school kids just read through everybody's files. It was nuts. So we had to go through and see like if it was, we would just look at the date, and if it was 10 years before, or if it was 10 years old, we could just throw it right out.
Yeah.
And that's it. So after 7 years, they no longer have to be responsible for their files anymore.
Yeah.
So we would go through, and we would like, there was just boxes on top of boxes on top of boxes of paper. So we were just throwing out paper all day, and we would take the empty boxes and set them up in the middle of the storage facility, and we played real life paper toss. So we would, we would just crumple up pieces of paper, and like one of us would drive in, and we would try and bank it off the car and get in. So like the further away it was, the more points he got, and like it was great. We would just hang out for a couple hours at this storage facility. We were the only ones there, and we were just throwing paper, and be like, oh my god, look at this poor sucker. We're like, look at this guy's leg, oh my god. We're just like, we had a stack of files that like we thought were really funny, and like we had like one for John Madden, and just like all the funny names and stuff. We were like, oh my god, this is great.
Why would they trust kids with that
Horrible
information?
mistake. The funny thing is, so me and my friend had this job, me and my friend Tyler, and my friend Ben, we were talking about it. My friend Ben really wanted to get in on this because it's basically free money, and it was great. We were talking about how fun it is. And so I asked the lady who got me the job if my friend Ben can join. She goes, yeah, sure, that's fine. Just bring him in. I want to meet him, train him up, and that kind of thing. And we're like, yeah, train him up. Okay. So he comes into the office, and it's just me, Ben, and this woman who gave us this job, this nice, forgiving woman. And so she has this big mole on her face, like a really, really big, pronounced one. And you try not to look at it, you know what I mean? And so she leaves the room at some point, and Ben comes over. He like whispers over to me. He's like, all I can think right now is mole, 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 mole,
Austin
mole.
Powers.
And yeah, so me and him are just dying. We're sitting there laughing, trying to keep it together as she comes back in the room, and she goes, oh, what's so funny? And I go, He pooped.
You did not
I
say.
swear to God, I said he pooped to our future employer, and he goes just like deadpan. He's like, "Are you freaking kidding me right now?" And the lady just looks at me and goes, "Oh, okay," and then just continues on like nothing happened. And to this day, he won't let me live it down. He's like, "Oh yeah, thanks for that. I pooped. Are you serious? I pooped." I was like, I panicked. I don't know, man.
How was that the line of thinking that you went to?
I panicked. Literally, that was the first thing that popped in my mind that we could be laughing at inside this office.
I feel like telling the truth would have been better than what you said.
Like, oh, you have a horrible mole. That's way worse. I'd rather have Ben poop himself than have to deal with that.
Oh my.
Yeah. So he was so mad at me.
That's a story if anyone else told me that, I don't think I would believe. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. But yeah, aside from that one terrible incident, it was a really, really interesting job.
I feel like anything that I'm going to come up with at this point is just going to be terrible. But my best job was a movie. I used to work in a movie theater.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So I got the job when I was a senior in high school.
Nice.
And we had film. So like we had projectors, and you would string up the film inside of the projector.
Is that still how they do that?
So the theater still is there, and like they have one screen that's digital, which is what most movie theaters are like now. They have like digital movies that like come on like a flash drive or something.
Really?
Or you would like have film, like you would thread the machine, which is what I did.
That's cool.
It was a lot of fun, like just kind of seeing how everything kind of went together and all that. But it was a lot of fun, and I got to see free movies all the time. Like I would because I had to watch the movie that I was showing, so like might as well like watch it, you know. And that was a lot of fun. I worked there for like 5 years. It was a lot of fun.
Wow, nice. So 5 years, you started as a senior. You went into college.
So like I would come home on the weekends sometimes for college. Not every weekend, but like some weekends, like maybe once or twice a month, and I would come home and work. Yeah.
Nice.
It was a cool job to have for like a high school kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you come home smelling like popcorn?
So I actually hate popcorn because of that job. Because one of my jobs was to also make popcorn.
Yeah.
And whenever I would make popcorn, like sometimes I would like, just make sure it tasted okay. So I'd like pull one kernel out and eat it just to make sure it tasted okay.
Has it ever not tasted okay?
No, it's always tasted fine. Well, like sometimes, like, because you have to add like salt and butter to it, and you don't want to add like too much of anything.
Is that butter? That little like fountain?
It's oil. It's oil.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of like butter.
Like olive oil or just like engine oil?
I don't know what kind of oil that would be. Yeah, but what you put on it is butter, but like whenever you're cooking it, like you use oil. Otherwise, you butter the popcorn.
I got you.
Yeah. So
so when you're making it, you're putting oil in there. Yeah, but when you go to that spout,
yeah, that's butter.
You push the button, that's butter.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's butter.
Ah, nice. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So that was probably the best job that I've had.
That's cool.
Yeah. But
you would get free movies and stuff while
you were there? It was a lot of fun. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So what's the other interesting job that you had?
The other interesting job, again, it was a high school job. I went through a weird phase in high school where I just took any job I could get. Essentially,
you'd now been to Wegmans.
So Wegmans was probably my freshman year of high school.
Okay.
The other one was probably sophomore year, and then this is junior year, I believe.
So you had a different job like every year.
Pretty much, yeah. During the summer, I would always get a different job. So my junior year, I believe it was junior year, again, that guy Ben who pooped his pants, me, Ben, and our friend Corey, Corey's dad basically ran this workshop in Philly. So it ends up being Deb Workshops. And it's just this giant warehouse where they make and ship women's clothes. So Deb is apparently a big women's clothing line, and I had no idea. I've always heard it was just Deb Workshops or whatever. So we're like, all right, yeah, give us a job. That's fine. That's great. And so we get in there, and we have to get in at 5 a.m. and we work until like 1 in the afternoon. So we had to leave super early because it's like an hour away or whatever. And we're working like I'm a small guy to begin with, and when I was in high school, I was like 4'11" my junior year.
Okay.
I was real short. So like I'm this like little snot-nosed kid working in this warehouse filled with like hardened Philly thugs, right? Like it's a warehouse job. It's not like there's not kids running around.
Yeah.
Like there's big machinery and all this stuff. Like I did not belong there at all. And there's the three of us, and all three of us are just like, we're very green. We don't really know what's going on, that kind of thing. So we get put in the shipping department where these giant boxes of clothes would come in, and we would take them off the line and stack them in the back of semi trucks. So we were just back and forth in semi trucks all day, and we would be working with these people that were just incredible. They were just the funniest people. So we had nicknames for everybody that we would work with in the shipping department. One of the guys was Doomsday, because no matter how the conversation started, he would be talking about the end of the world and all this stuff. He was like, oh yeah, that whole Indiana Jones things with the 13 crystal skulls, spot on. It's so accurate. We're like, yeah, all right, cool. Just don't kill me, buddy.
Is this guy delusional?
Yeah, oh yeah. And so this other guy, he was like a thug-looking guy. He had a do-rag and like pants down to his waist, and or down to his ankles. Waist is a very normal place.
Yeah.
But so he looked like a real thug type guy, but every conversation you have with him ended with like superheroes. It didn't matter what it was. We would talk about like, I don't know, politics or something, and it would come back to be like, oh, that reminds me of the Green Lantern, bro, and he'd be talking about all this stuff, and we would get into this giant conversation about like Dragon Ball Z and all this stuff. It was great.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite guys, we named him Shit, because every time he said something, he's like, man, I've been here for 13 years, shit. And he would just, after everything he said, he would say shit. He was my boy.
That sounds like an awesome group of people to be with.
Yeah, it was fun.
How do you have a dull moment when you're with that many different types of people?
You really don't.
Like, literally.
Yeah.
I mean, plus you.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. That sounds awesome, though.
Yeah, it was very interesting.
Yeah. Any other cool job stories on that end?
I worked as a surveyor, and I really liked that. That was cool.
Doing
surveys. Surveys, yes. Yeah. So we would it was right after Katrina messed up New Jersey.
Okay.
So, or not Katrina, what is that? Sandy.
Okay.
Sandy.
Yeah,
right
Sandy
after
did.
Sandy hit. So the whole shoreline was messed up. So again, we were working on the beach, and we were finding property corners and that kind of thing. And we would also be out in the Pine Barrens, which is just big section of woods out in southern New Jersey, supposedly where the Jersey Devil lives.
Okay.
And we're cutting our way through trees and stuff, so we have to find these property corners of massive lots that are just totally overgrown. We don't know what's going on. And for the survey equipment to find it, we would have to just crawl through all these miles of wilderness and cut down all these lines and stuff. But it was the guys we were working with, they were really fun. It was an interesting job. It was nice being outside the whole time. A lot of ticks. You got to watch out for ticks, though.
Yeah, in the woods. Yeah, it makes sense.
Supposedly surveyors get Lyme disease a lot.
Oh, jeez.
Which I believe, because every day I'd pick off 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed that too, being whenever I was outside when I was at PennDOT, my job was an inspection job, and you see stuff like that all the time.
Yeah.
And the people that you get to work with, doing construction and stuff like that,
they're good people.
You meet some of the coolest people.
Yeah.
Yeah. Alrighty, well, let's transition into the final job question. Who is Steve Jobs?
He's that pear guy, isn't he?
The pear guy. So, last question. If you were not... So we are both engineers.
We are.
I believe.
Well, in my heart of hearts.
Yes. We are engineers. So if you were not an engineer, what job would you want to have?
I always want to be an astronaut. More than anything.
Your childhood dream.
Yeah, I also either an astronaut or a pilot or both. So I was so close to joining the Air Force Academy actually, but I decided against it, and I went to West Virginia instead. Which awesome decision.
Debatable
awesome
choice.
Decision. Yeah, very happy with that actually. Not mad about it at all. But yeah, I always wanted to be a pilot, and smaller guys are supposed to be good for it, and I've always I've tried to get my pilot's license. Jesus. I have like 11 or so hours logged for my pilot's license, and I want to get back into it. I haven't found the time to, unfortunately. But yeah, love flying, and I always thought being an astronaut would be the coolest thing on the planet.
That would be.
Not on the planet.
Ah, I see what you did there. Ayo.
What about you?
So, when I was growing up, so one of the movie franchises that I attached myself a lot to was the Star Wars franchise. Like, I've told this story before on the podcast, but Episode 3, it came out in 2005, I think. I watched that so much, the DVD so much, I wore out the DVD.
Nice.
But I used to watch, like, I wouldn't just watch the movie. You know how there's that extra disc that used to come with DVDs that had, like, all the special features? Yeah. I would watch everything on those.
What came on the Episode 3 special features?
On all of the Star Wars movie, like, special discs, they would have, like, how the film was shot and, like, this is what goes into making a movie. And I found myself, like, very, like, invested in those stories, like the behind the scenes stuff, like movie producers and, like, directors and, like, all stunts and, like, everything that went into being a movie. And I was like, I want to go be, like, a movie director.
That would be cool.
Was like, I was.
You'd be good at it, I think.
For the longest time, I was like, because there was, like, this school in California where you could go and learn how to be a director. And I was like, that would be so cool to do. Like, I think I would love every second of that.
Yeah.
And I continued to, like, research it and do stuff on it. But obviously, I went to school for engineering. But
it's not too late, man.
It's never too late.
That's right. Look at you doing your podcast. You're getting into entertainment.
Step one.
Step one. Yeah. Baby steps, baby.
Yeah, but it seems like George Lucas was, like, my favorite guy growing up. Like, he was my childhood hero.
That's cool.
And I loved, like, watching all that stuff and looking into that. It was a lot of fun.
You should talk to Mitch because he's the biggest movie buff I've ever seen in my life.
Mitch, Mitch, friend of the show, friend of the podcast. Whenever I talk to...
You might know him as the Spider-Man guy.
Yeah, the guy that just...
destroyed everything.
And brought a textbook to the podcast.
Yes.
Not even a lie.
Yeah.
Good guy, Mitch.
Yes.
Good guy.
Yeah.
But I feel like when I talk to Mitch, and Mitch is going to listen to this, and he's going to enjoy this. I feel like when I talk to Mitch about movies, like, I'll say something about a movie, like something I like, and he'll be like, oh, yeah, the producer of this movie also produced this, and this. And I'm like,
I recognize maybe half of a name there.
Mitch is just, I think Mitch is like a cinephile. Like,
is that a thing?
I think that's the term for
yeah, definitely.
Yeah, people that really enjoy movies a lot.
Whatever he identifies as.
It's cool though, because, like, he's good to get another perspective on movies. That maybe...
it's so much more in depth than just the typical movie experience. Like, he reviews things and he'll be like, that reminded me of, like, it seemed like this guy was involved and this guy, like, I could see there was a flare of that in there, and then, like, he would look it up and be like, oh yeah, no, that's spot on. I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
It just was I thought it was good. The movie was good. Yeah.
Yeah, Mitch appreciates movies for completely different things than, like, you or I would appreciate a movie for.
Yeah, so when you're a big bad director, you need to have Mitch.
I'll have Mitch right there by my side. Be like, Mitch, what did you think of this? Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to do when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's all I got.
Well, good luck,
that's
man.
all the Steve Jobs stuff I got.
Yeah, it's a lot of Steve Jobs. There's a lot of tangents.
Obviously, we know what the name of this episode is going to be. It's going to be Steve Jobs.
Employment
opportunities.
Yeah. Employment. No. Maybe tangents.
Probably get the wrong people
Steve
listening.
Tangents.
They listen to the whole thing and be like, there wasn't a single opportunity for me.
So if you're looking for a job, came to the wrong podcast. Just want to clear that up for everybody.
A little too late. Yeah, but with that, let's wrap this up and get to some closing thoughts. I will start with you.
Me?
Yeah.
Are you talking to me?
No, I'm talking to the silent person. Mitch has been here the whole time, actually.
Hey, Mitch.
Hey, guys.
I like that we both did that. My closing thought is Mitch really needs to speak up a little louder. No, but it was good. Yeah. Hope I didn't bore you with my Steven employment stories.
Steven employment stories. Yeah. Well, my closing thought is as what it always is. Wow. Is as it always is.
Change it up. I don't like it.
Is what it. my closing thoughts. Just gonna plug the show.
Okay.
So you can find, this is the Take It Offline podcast, obviously. So you can find the show on iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, YouTube, all those places. Seems like we're getting the viewership up a little bit on these podcasts,
Hey,
which is
represent.
awesome. I'm happy that people are listening and enjoying to it. I cannot
Enjoying
talk
too.
today.
This has been a rough Monday,
Yeah,
dude.
it's a Monday. But yeah, so if you could do me a favor and go, if you're listening to these podcasts, please go subscribe. That helps me out a lot, kind of lets me know where everyone's listening to stuff at. So go subscribe to the show on iTunes, Google Play Music, SoundCloud, or YouTube, and then give me a review or like it, or let me know that you're listening. Let me know that you're enjoying what you're listening to. And in addition to that, if you have any suggestions for the show, any critique, any topics that you think we should talk about on future episodes, you can send me an email to takeitofflinepod@gmail.com. Or if you want to know whenever a new show is posted, you could go to Facebook and search for the Take It Offline podcast, and you should be able to find my Facebook page where I post whenever a new episode is posted. So with that, Rudy, do you have anything else you want to add?
I don't think so.
Alrighty. Well, until next time, I will see you later.
Mr. Postman keeps calling, he made a social bargain, just singing out of time. He keeps his bag still empty, heads home to see his family, they'll love him till he dies. And they say, go ahead, we'll be there, and throw away the sickness on your mind. You need a place to call home, so just go and leave us behind. Mr. Postman is slowing, and yet his heart keeps growing. He's still a boy inside. Amongst the junk mail garbage, he finds another card that makes him feel alright. Now they say, go ahead, we'll be there, and throw away the sickness on your mind. You need a place to call home, so just go and leave us behind. Mr. Postman keeps fighting, his fleeting wife keeps crying for what she wants to say. She talks of splits and cheaters from all the social creatures she lies with every day. Now he says, go ahead, I'll be here, and throw away our life you left behind. I had a place to call home, but you've gone and left me behind.